Welcome back to season 2 of Boss Babe Brews. I'm Valerie.
I'm Marlena.
And I cannot wait to get into our guest today. We have LaWana Boone. But before we do, I just want to say, where did we go last week? Tell everybody, Marlena.
Disney.
It was so fun. We went to Disney.
Yes.
It was really hot. It was 85, 87 every day.
Mm-hmm. And it only rained once.
It was so nice. I didn't have to put on my poncho. Last time we went, I had to buy like $20 friggin' ponchos they had. This time I bought a whole pack. I was prepared and I didn't even need the ponchos.
But
so now I
so
got to go
fun.
back so I can use
The
them
only
again.
thing I wasn't expecting was all the allergies that were down there. The pollen was this thick on the ground. You could literally see it.
Her face was very swollen.
I woke up one morning, my eyes were like shut, swollen.
And I didn't want to say nothing. She goes, look how swollen I am. I'm like, no, you look really good, Marlena.
Oh, thanks.
I can't see that your eyes were swollen. And her jaws look like a chipmunk. They were out like this. So, yeah.
But it's fine. I should have known Flower Garden Festival. So
yeah. It was really fun. Let us know in the comments if you were in Disney. We were there the 22nd
through the 29th.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, I feel like to me it was a long trip.
Yeah. It was
I
nice.
was ready to come home though.
Yeah.
Missed my dog.
Where did you visit most of the time?
The world of Disney.
I'm actually putting a video up on my TikTok. I think we were in there probably 26 times in our 8-day stay.
My friend
Disney.
said she knew the layout so well because I would FaceTime her every time I went in. She's like, I've never even been there, but now I know the layout.
People were coming up asking her if they had different items in stock. Just kidding. All right, guys.
I would have known where they were.
All right.
Now, before we begin, make sure you buckle up, turn on airplane mode, and pay attention.
Guys, welcome back to Boss Babe Brews. Here is our beautiful guest, LaWana Boone. Let me tell you what LaWana is. She is a flight attendant, a speaker, a travel writer, an author, and an adjunct professor. This is the book that she wrote. I can't wait to tell you guys about that. So LaWana, welcome to Boss Babe Brews. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. We have been trying to get together for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you ladies for quite some time when your shop was down the street and you had the clothing boutique.
Yes.
And I'm so glad we finally had an opportunity to get together. A little bit about me. As you said, I'm a public speaker. I speak on travel and culture to study abroad groups, aviation conferences, and I just talk about getting to know people in other places, other spaces, and other lands, and realizing we have so much more in common than we have differences.
That's so fun.
That is fun. That is fun. So LaWana, how long have you been a flight attendant?
Longer than most people have been alive.
Oh, wow.
Including Marlena here.
Yeah, oh, that's
I've been
cool.
flying for over 30 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of experiences under my belt.
I guess I've flown 4 times in my entire life on an airplane. So, yeah.
You might have spent more hours in air than you have on land.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, I actually put my mileage in one day, and it was pretty scary how many miles
Oh, wow. I bet.
how many
Oh, my
miles
gosh.
I had flown. So I was like,
Wow.
I won't share that here, but
Oh,
it
my
was
gosh.
quite a bit. I was like, wow, I've spent more time in the air than I have on the ground, especially when you're working overtime
yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
So I never really thought about it. So I have a question. It says, what does flight attendant training involve? I didn't even think about this. You would have to go to school to train to be a flight attendant.
Absolutely.
So yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Our training is, depending on which airline, it's about 6 to 8 weeks long.
Oh, wow.
And in that training, you're learning medical procedures. You're learning about fighting fires. You're learning about hazmat materials. You're learning about terrorism. You're learning about so many things. It's a plethora of things that you learn about.
Okay.
And it's extremely, extremely intense.
I was going to say,
I'm
yeah,
sure it's not
okay.
like you can call 911 in the sky and
Right.
have like a firefighter plane come in to save
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So you are the first responder
Wow.
on the airplane if someone's choking, if someone's sick, if someone passes out. A
Right.
lot of times you get folks that on longer international flights,
Okay.
they'll have a couple drinks, like a couple glasses of wine to relax, and then they've
Okay.
taken something to help them sleep. And that's always a disaster.
Oh, I never thought about that. Oh, wow.
And neither have they.
Oh, geez. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, but I've thought about it because I have to respond to these things. And sometimes you have to diffuse arguments over
Right.
seat backs and things like that. So you do have to wear multiple hats
I
in
bet.
one flight.
LaWana, what is your schedule like? Well, let me get into this. You're a single girl. You're beautiful. You're single. So what's it like being single with a schedule like that you have?
I'm gone quite a bit, and I'm not dating at the time, even though, I would like to, but as of right now, I'm not dating. But yeah, my schedule is very intense.
LaWana's hot, guys. Look her up on Facebook. Look her up on Facebook.
Do you think that
gentlemen.
gives like the people you date a reason to complain in the relationship when you're gone so much?
Oh, well, you make adjustments when you have to. When you're single and you're paying all the bills, of course you're gone a lot. But, if I were in a relationship with a partner, I probably would definitely make an effort to be home more. And we would do a lot of traveling together.
Yeah.
I look forward. I look
that's
forward
nice.
to doing that.
That's
Having
nice.
someone come with me
Ooh.
on some of my trips. That would always be a great incentive as far as a relationship. And you could share those experiences together.
Right.
My days consist of me usually starting out first thing in the morning and stopping in my local Hens and Honey.
Yeah. She likes a vanilla latte with whipped cream.
Yeah, she
lit on the
does.
side.
Marlena knows my drink, and she knows where to stop it to make sure I get more coffee than whipped cream. So I always appreciate that. It's nothing like knowing your barista on a first name basis. And then if it's in the afternoon, I like the cold brew cowgirl.
That's nice.
So that's how
nice.
I start out my day,
Yeah.
and that gets me motivated to get to work. And when I get there, I usually start out by greeting my fellow crew members.
Okay.
Then I check my catering if we're going international to make sure I have all the food that I need. I'll check my emergency equipment, make sure all that's good. And then after that, I get prepared to greet my first passenger.
That's
wow.
nice.
Do you fly domestic or international?
I fly both, but I would
Okay.
say the majority of international, especially in spring and summer, and that's my favorite. Those are
Yeah.
my favorite routes.
You smell like spring and summer. We were talking about your perfume smells so good. And where did you say it was from?
I purchased this from Doha, Qatar.
Ooh, it smells so
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
I
And
love it.
as soon
So
as,
fancy.
soon as I'm able to get back, I'll definitely bring you
Oh,
some.
I would love that. Oh my gosh. So, LaWana, do you have a favorite destination that still excites you every time you go, and why?
Funny you would say that because actually it is Doha, Qatar. That's
really?
the place that I just love visiting.
Oh.
They have such an amazing a vibe and the culture. I love the buildings. They're like everything's state of the art and
wow.
brand new. And I love their food. I love their markets or bazaars.
Ooh.
And you can get everything there. I mean,
Oh, wow.
everything there. Name
so cool.
brand, stuff at a discounted price. So I just love Doha. Their
Oh, that's
museums are fantastic. That's one of my favorite destinations.
Oh, that's cool.
If you know the currency is going to be different in a country that you're going to, do you like bring the currency that you'll need with you, or do you just use like card?
Yeah, many years ago, I would get my currency converted, but nowadays I just use a card.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
just use a
say.
card. It's not even worth, bothering with all the different currencies.
Everybody knows when we bring up this fly. I feel like every time it gets warm in here, I get a fly up front with the show. I got a swatter on the side. I want to whack the sucker.
That reminds me of a funny story. I remember one time I was on a flight and there was a bumblebee in the first class cabin. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's going to sting me. He's going to sting me.
Oh my God.
And so I grabbed like a piece of paper like
Yeah.
this and I'm chasing and I'm chasing.
Aw.
And then all of a sudden I said, "Pow,"
Oh,
and I realized I hit the bumblebee on a gentleman's bald head.
damn.
I was
Oh
so
my God.
I was
Aw.
so
Oh, I'm
embarrassed.
sure.
And of course I
Aw.
apologized
Yeah.
profusely, but
Oh.
I got the bumblebee.
Did he think it was funny?
He did.
Okay, I would
He did.
have thought it was
As long as they have a
funny.
good
I
sense
would've
of
thought it
humor.
I was
funny.
practically crying. I was so
Oh my
embarrassed.
How would you describe flight attendant culture?
I would describe our culture as very, very tight knit.
Okay.
It's one of these types of professions. You show up to the plane and you may say it's 5 flight attendants. You may know one.
Okay.
You may not know any of them. However, you create a bond based upon the shared camaraderie of the job. You know each other, but you don't know each other.
Okay.
And you will have a great time on that 2-day, that 3-day, or that 4-day
nice.
trip. And if you love them and you have a great time, you probably won't see them for 10 years.
I was going to say, it's the ones you don't like, you're stuck with. Oh my God.
And if
I
you
just
don't
spit.
like them and you don't get along, you'll see them next week. So it's
Sounds
really,
about
really
right.
weird. But overall, everyone
Yeah.
gets along great and, works together for the integrity
Yeah.
of
Right.
the flight.
Then and on that note, what role does teamwork work? How does it work? And when things don't go as planned, how do you guys, get along with each other? You just automatically just go into your
Like be professional about
right,
it.
and just
Absolutely. Your training kicks in when things
okay.
don't go right. Your training kicks in and everyone plays their part.
go. Nice.
And a lot of times you may have someone that's better at something than another person, and they'll take the lead on it. There's always
Okay.
a senior flight attendant that is in charge of the flight.
Oh,
However,
okay.
and sometimes on international flights, they refer to that as the purser. But however, if you're better at diplomacy than I am, you would take the lead. Or sometimes we'll have someone else, if you've had an altercation with someone, sometimes just changing the face, having
Okay.
another person approach them with a more diplomatic tone.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then a lot of times, even with age differences,
Right.
as you and I have talked about before, sometimes a more senior,
Yeah.
seasoned flight attendant like myself can step in and diffuse something.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes a little bit more. So, we talk about it and just figure it out.
I've seen a lot of
That's nice.
TikTok videos, like with flight attendants and stuff like that. Like
They always handle it so nicely,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yep.
they're trying. They're
I would
just doing
grab
their
them by
job.
their hair and drag them down the aisle. You fuck up on my plane, see what happens.
Wait, so you mentioned catering. What's your favorite snack on a plane? Is there, like, a
Favorite
really good
snack
one?
on a plane? I'll be honest. I actually don't eat the airplane food. Not that anything's wrong with it, but I try to be very health conscious, and I always cook my food and bring it from
okay.
home.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, but I go out of my
Yeah.
way to make sure I know I have something nutritious
Oh,
that
yeah.
I made
It's
from
really
home.
skinny of you. I'd be like, what do they have today?
So if you're do you have your own room on the plane? Like a flight attendant room that you guys can go into?
No, absolutely
Oh.
not.
It's that little seating area by the bathroom.
We do not have our own area.
Oh.
We have a galley. And and that's where the food is and the drinks and stuff. And there are a few jump seats on
I
the
got you.
airplane. And
Okay.
that's so a lot of times when I'm on my layovers, years ago when I was a much younger flight attendant, I would be out and about and go here and there. And I had all these places I wanted to hit in every
Right.
city. But now I'm what we call a slam click. You go in the room, you slam the door, and you click the lock.
That would be me.
And that's because sometimes it's a lot of sensory stimulation.
Yeah.
There's so many noises. There's so many people, especially during spring break and the
wow.
summers, that I really, really enjoy my me time.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
that's
love a
nice.
good hotel room.
Oh, I bet. Oh my
I
God,
would be
that's cool.
overstimulated after a
Yeah.
flight.
What destination has been the greatest impact on you and why?
The greatest impact on me, I did not go here with the airline. However, I've studied abroad many times. And the greatest impact was when I went to Ghana, which is
Okay.
in West Africa. And that had the greatest impact on me because that's where my ancestors come
Oh,
from.
that's so
that's
nice.
So that was West Africa, Nigeria. So that was something that was really special to me.
Right.
Just being able to reconnect with my
That's great that you
my
got to
lineage
go
and
there.
culture.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because a lot of people don't get that opportunity or chance to do that.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Exactly. And it's just travel's an education. It really is. You learn so much about so many
yeah.
people, places, food. I'm a foodie,
Yeah.
cultures. And it's just an opportunity to have I won't say a bird's eye view, but a seat at the table with other people and
Yes.
how they live and how they think. And I love that.
Oh, that's
Yes.
neat.
Well, this is going to tie into my thought of the day later, but you're kind of like taking the scenic route in life. You're always getting to see things, experience things that just
That's
Exactly. Yeah, the things that I've seen, the places I've been, this is what most people have to pay for.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I pay for it.
Yeah.
I really do work hard,
Right. Oh, yeah.
mentally
Of course.
and physically, but the reward really outweighs some of the stress that goes with
Yeah.
it. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'll find myself saying, I'm retiring soon. And then you get a little nostalgia
Yeah.
when you see something on like one of the travel shows. You're
Oh.
like, oh, wow, I got to
Yeah.
get there. So it's always your bucket list continues to increase.
Do you watch the channel or the travel channel?
I do. I look at all the travel shows. Right now, I'm looking at a lot of the travel shows on YouTube. And it's like, I just get a lot of ideas about where I
that's
want to
neat.
go next.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So the name of your business is Cultural Humility Consulting. Did I say that right?
You did.
What is cultural humility?
Cultural humility is the ability to learn from other people, to step out of yourself and realize that my way is not the only way. There are people all over the world doing the exact same thing you're doing, but they're doing it in a different way. So it's having respect for another culture and realizing that you are not the blueprint. Other people all over the world are living and breathing and functioning. But it's having the humility to be able to humble yourself to appreciate other cultures.
Yeah, that's so nice.
That's nice.
You ever see the videos online and then you see people say stuff and you're like, have I ever had an original thought? Like you just see people say things and you're like, what the heck? Like everybody's lived the same experiences as me.
Yeah.
Like the more I see, I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's everyone has a twin somewhere. Everyone has the same thoughts. So what's that cliche? Like more or less like, you can't reinvent the wheel, or so So I try to think of myself as pretty creative and original, but at the same time, most ideas have already been
know.
A lot of my videos that we do for the cafe, some of them are originals, but some we just kind of get on.
We get inspiration from like online.
Inspiration. We try to put our own twist on shit. Yeah,
that's so fun.
LaWana, have you ever had a celebrity on your flight?
Yes, I have had many celebrities on my flight, many celebrities. However, it's a little less nowadays because you have so many celebrities that take private jets. But occasionally on flights from New York to LA, Philadelphia to LA, you'll have a few more celebrities. But I would say 9 times out of 10, it's after their plans have fallen through on the private jets. And I understand, hey, if I had the money to, why be with the masses when you could have this, celebrity experience on a private jet?
I have a private helicopter.
Oh, wow.
So my husband flies me out to Lancaster for dinner. Just kidding. We got
that
tractors.
Sounds exciting.
We got tractors. Okay, LaWana, what is your go-to travel hack that every woman needs to know?
Pack light. Pack light.
I agree.
Make your life easier. You see some women come on and they've got bags and bags and bags. And especially I see a lot of the moms that have 3 or 4 bags. Condense everything and make your life easier. I have friends that laugh at me because I'll take an international flight and I have a 1-quart Ziploc bag.
Wow.
And they're like, what's in there? Everything I need.
Yep. And you can buy it usually like if you're somewhere, if you need it. I'm just saying you can, I don't know.
It's not horrible if you forget something.
You took the words out of my mouth. Exactly. I've got that 1-quart Ziploc bag with all of my sample sizes. And if I need anything, if something happens and my stay is extended, I know how to get to the local drugstore and buy some more lotion or shampoo.
This last Disney trip, I actually took the amount of underwear that I need. Usually, if I go somewhere, I would take like 15 pairs of underwear on like a 4-day trip, like I was going to shit myself 4 times a day or pee myself. This time I took the amount of underwear that I still had like plenty of room.
Proud of you.
You overpack. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I told her, I said, well, if I need a sweatshirt and I'm cold, I'll just buy it while we're there. Like I'm okay.
In the world of Disney.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And those 15 pairs of underwear, you could actually cut that in half to 7.
Yeah.
Use some shampoo.
And
wash it out in the shower. Hang it up. Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
That's a hack.
Yep, that's a good hack. So if y'all poop a lot, just saying. LaWana, what has travel taught you about yourself as a woman?
Travel has taught me so many things. As I said, it is an education. I didn't go back to college till I was in my early 30s, but I had already been educated in the world just from traveling. But as a woman in particular, I think women should always get out and enjoy yourself. However, always be cautious. Always look over your shoulder. Never say your room number. Always make sure a friend knows where you are. Share your location with someone. Just be vigilant and careful. We do have a beautiful world. However, bad things happen, and we all know there are some bad people out there. So just watch yourself and be very careful and cautious, but still get out there and travel and explore the world, but be safety first.
That's very good. That's great advice. And cover your cups. Like don't let people like get near your cups.
Absolutely.
Because they can put like a date rape drug in there or something. Just saying.
Cover your, you said cover
right.
your cup.
Cover your cups. All right, let's
She
look
looks
at
like
some.
she's DJing there. Cover your cups. Cover your cups.
All right, LaWana, fun, rapid fire questions I have for you. All right, get ready. Window or aisle?
Window.
Early flight or red eye?
Red eye.
Overpacking or minimalist?
Minimalist.
Beach or city?
Beach.
Passport stamp you're most proud of?
All of them.
One place you'll never go back to?
There's no place I'll never go back to because, again, I'm a slam clicker. If I don't like the place, I stay in my room and in my bed and relax.
Oh, that's nice. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, that's so fun, though.
All right, here's some other jobs that LaWana is. Let me get my finger right again. All right, you're also a travel writer, a speaker, and an adjunct professor. What inspired you to become a travel writer? And I just want to say a travel writer, that is LaWana's book, The Window Seat Journal for the airline passenger. This book is like actually wonderful. It's a journal. And I'm going to skip forward too. LaWana's going to be here on April 18th from 9 until I believe 3 o'clock. She's going to be having her books for sale. They're also for sale on Amazon, correct? And she's going to sign these books outside the cafe.
Book signing.
Book signing, yeah, a book signing. But these are so cute because, like, if you do travel, it's a whole journal that you can write in. And she has different, like, questions. Like this one says, international dishes that have become my favorite foods. And you can note and write everything in the book and keep this beautiful journal.
It's a place to put all of your thoughts.
Right. That's what it is. This is really cute. Oh, you got crossword puzzles in here.
You can do that on the plane.
This helps with Alzheimer's. I just want to throw it keeps your mind sharp. I'm just going to throw that out there. And then there's places like to put your photos and stuff. This is really good. This is amazing. Like what made you want to write this book?
Well, actually, what made me want to write this book is because my passengers are always asking me, what time do we land? Are we there yet?
Oh.
And they're very, very impatient and wanting to get there. So I thought about, what if I gave them something to do on the flight?
That's a good idea.
Absolutely. And people think that Wi-Fi is perfect. They think that, nothing will ever go down or stop working. And it's like, you can have this book and you can create your own memories here. And no one can still tell your story like you can.
That's right.
So it's like I have a prompted areas in which I ask questions and you write the answers. What's your favorite destination? Who have I met on some of my trips or excursions?
Oh, nice.
What have I learned about my family when I traveled, my family's country of origin?
Okay.
So it's a lot of questions that just really get you to thinking while you're sitting there on that window seat.
I love that. That's
so
cool.
sweet.
LaWana, you wear so many hats. What is your identity right now?
I have multiple identities.
Me too.
I have multiple identities. As of right now, I am a flight attendant in my aviation-inspired mock uniform.
That's so cute.
Thank you. And this is my tribute to the golden age of aviation, where people used to dress up.
I love that.
Yes.
I mean, the couple planes we've been on, they were dressed cute, but this is what I think of.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
And it wasn't just the flight attendants, it was also the passengers. So everyone used to dress up back in the day, the days of Easter and the days of Pan Am, Capital, Braniff, TWA. If you remember of any of those airlines, when people used to, it was an event.
Yes.
Traveling, flying was an event. You had a hot meal. And again, everyone dressed up. So that's like the golden age of aviation. And I wear this as a tribute to honor aviation history.
I love that.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and when I conduct some of my speaking engagements for aviation conferences or study abroad groups, I wear this because it really, really commands attention and gets everyone interested in my topic.
And it goes good with your skin tone and all the baby blue. I love it. I love it.
I appreciate it.
That's
Thank
my
you.
favorite color too, as everybody can't tell.
Yes, love your nails.
Thanks. If travel could teach the world just one lesson, what do you think it should be?
We have more alike than we have differences. So I think if everyone traveled, they would get inspired to realize that and understand that we may all come from different spaces and different places, but our humanity is the same.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I love that, LaWana.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, yay. So would you mind telling people where they're able to find you for speaking events or just to buy your book in general?
Absolutely. For speaking events, you can always find me on LinkedIn under my name, LaWana Boone. That's LaWanaBoone, LaWana Boone on LinkedIn. You can also find me on my website, which is culturalhumilityconsulting.com. Once again, that's culturalhumilityconsulting.com. And you can reach out to me there. And also my book is available on Amazon. And also I will be selling my book here for a book signing on April 18th, right here in the lovely Hens and Honey. And I can't wait to see you. And that day also, I will be letting folks ask me any questions they would like ask a flight attendant.
Ooh, I like that. That's cute. I love that. Ooh, and I get pictures with you. You look cute. All right, let's do our thoughts of the day.
Yeah.
Are you prepared, Marlena?
Yep.
It's a miracle. It is. It must be a new season. Wow. All right, so my thought of the day is sometimes the life you're dreaming about isn't waiting on the perfect moment. It's waiting on you to be brave enough to board it. I just went on an 8-day vacation to Disney with my two kids. One's 18 and one's 23. I was very brave because there was lots of mood swings. Just saying.
Side eye.
All right, Miss LaWana.
Yeah, actually, I'll grab my book here because I have a quote. And here, my thought of the day. And it's already here in my book. So I'll just read it to you. Enroll in the Global University of World Travel and earn your PhD.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cute.
I
like
need to travel more. Maybe I'll become more smarter.
You wrote that quote, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, that's so nice. I like that.
So
Thank
smart.
you. I appreciate it.
I already kind of said my thought of the day. It was just always take the scenic route. I said it earlier kind of, but that was my thought of the day.
That was really big quote of the day.
But thank you so much, LaWana, for coming on.
Okay, can I say one more?
Yes,
you may.
Okay,
yes.
if I can use my glove here to get my passcode. Okay, and this is the last one.
Yeah.
Travel is an education in history and culture that no textbook can replicate.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Right. That's right. And you can keep everything in your mind and remember it too.
Or the book.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for coming back for season 2. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you love to watch or listen to your favorite podcasts, including us. And make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're always doing fun giveaways and posts, so just give us a like on there.
Yep. Oh my God, we just gave away a suitcase for traveling. Oh my God.
How perfect.
Thank you, Miss LaWana, for coming on.
Thank you.
Were a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Boss Babe Brews. Subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. It helps us reach even more boss babes. The show's hosted by Valerie and Marlena Robinson and recorded at their shop, Hens and Honey, in Swedesboro, New Jersey. It's produced by Breakdown Media. New episodes come out every Friday, so follow for more hustle, more hearts, and more good hangs.